love and laughter. It's time for the news.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda. Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us on tonight's edition of the main news. Today is the 30th of December. My name is Joyce Mabika.
Yep, just one more day to go before we celebrate the new year. Welcome. My name is Butler Nipure. Nobo Maungwa is with us on the sign language desk. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories.
President Emerson Naga urges Zimbabweans to embrace patriotism for national progress.
Calls have been made for transport operators to desist from setting unreasonable targets for their drivers as the country is urged to prevent road accidents.
In business, Zimbabwe's manufacturing sector targets more investments in machinery.
Later on, when we look at your sport, the ZIFA candidature of Twine Piri is what we're interrogating this evening.
We head straight to our first report. President Emerson Mnangagwa has urged citizens to embrace patriotism and actively contribute to the country's development. Yolanda Moyo with that report.
Speaking during the 8th Annual National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service in Bulawayo, convened by the Faith for the Nation campaign in association with the Zimbabwe Indigenous Interdenominational Council of Churches, this Sunday, President Emerson Mnangagwa rallied Zimbabweans to remain patriotic.
In pursuit of our national vision 2030, I call upon us all to embrace the true patriotism and genuine love for our country and our people. Borrowing from the exhortations in Psalms chapter 137 verse 5 and 6, I also urge us all, individually and collectively, to patriotically proclaim that if I forget Zimbabwe, let my right hand forget my skill. If I do not remember nor prefer Zimbabwe above my own joy, let my tongue cling to the roof of my mouth. The youth of our country are particularly challenged to resist the machinations by detractors, to have them hate or look down upon their own motherland, Zimbabwe. Never be blind to the vast potential of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Open your eyes and your hearts to truly love and be committed to the land of your birth. You, the youth, are the future of this great country, Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, we thank Jehovah God above that our SADC region is united in purpose to bring peace, development, and prosperity to all its peoples. We commit to forge ahead in unity and in one accord as one people and one great nation of Zimbabwe. May God bless our efforts for more historic milestones towards the realization of Vision 2030 and beyond.
The president went on to underscore the importance of love, peace, unity and harmony as the cornerstone of a thriving nation.
Love is indeed the common denominator in the way we relate with Almighty God and with one another. Love should remain ingrained within the church and among the people of our nation. Love, peace, unity and harmony are the greatest gifts that we must bequeath to future generations. Additionally, it is critically important that our trust and confidence remains anchored in the mighty power and the faithfulness of Jehovah our God. He shall surely fulfill his promises and plans over our families, our communities, our provinces, and the nation as a whole.
Embracing technology is also key in Zimbabwe's industrialization agenda.
Finally, as we dedicate our nation and consecrate ourselves to the work that lies ahead, let us embrace and advance initiatives and innovations that propel our development, our modernization, and industrialization agenda of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Individually and collectively, we must hold firm each other's hands as we develop our country. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 to 6, assures us of the abundant blessings that come about as a result of obedience and walking in the fear of the Lord above. Development initiatives and programs for the upliftment and prosperity of our people have become the solid foundation upon which we are building our country, brick by brick and stone upon stone.
In the year ahead, President Naga says his government's focus will be on hard and honest work as well as production and productivity, which should propel Zimbabwe to a brighter future. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, President Emerson Mnangagwa will take his annual vacation from tomorrow, Tuesday, 31st December, until early February next year. In a statement today, the acting chief secretary to the president and cabinet, Mr. George Charamba, confirmed that the president plans to spend his vacation in the country and will be available for commitments requiring his personal attention as state president and as SADC chairperson. He said Vice President Kebo Mohadi will be the acting president from tomorrow until the 19th of January before Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga takes over until President Mnangagwa returns early February.
The agriculture sector has made significant strides in recent years, contributing significantly to national development. This was revealed by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, during the 8th Annual National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service in Bulawayo this Sunday.
Since the advent of the Second Republic, President Emerson Mnangagwa's administration has come up with a number of interventions that have transformed the country's agricultural sector, driving sustainable development and ensuring food security. Addressing congregates at the 8th Annual National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service in Bulawayo this Sunday, the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Road Development, Dr. Anxious Masuga, highlighted initiatives being undertaken by the Second Republic towards improving food security and sovereignty.
The President has given me a mandate, and I'm most humbled at this phase of the transformation of our country. Engadona Agriculture to be this lead facilitator for the President's vision. His vision for agriculture is that we must ensure and assure this nation of perennial food security, and he has gone beyond that he wants food sovereignty. If you are able to ensure household food security, you will be able to ensure national food security. So that's the intervention through the sustainable intensive conservation practice called Pumbudza Intwasa, and under the President and his chairmanship of SADC, other countries have begun to replicate Pumbudza Intwasa.
The government has since set a target of 2.7 million metric tons of maize this summer cropping season.
Maize production since 2018, stellar performance, except in 2024 where we had that devastating drought, 635,000 metric tons, but we want to emerge stronger, 2.7 million tons in 2025 envisaged against our annual consumption of 1.4 million metric tons for human consumption, 400,000 metric tons for animal consumption. There is traditional grains growth, and we expect that with climate-proofing agriculture, we'll be able to grow more traditional grains. They are healthier, they are more nutritious.
Minister Masuga also gave an insight into the rural industrialization drive.
The President wants to use agriculture as an engine for rural development to improve livelihoods for the attainment of Vision 2030. The President knows the direct impact of agriculture on its own, on economic development, but more importantly, these causative, collateral and multiplier effects on the rest of the economy. Agricultural development in rural areas will lead to rural industrialization. Urban-rural migration must happen.
Collaboration between government, farmers and other stakeholders was highlighted as key in sustaining these gains and further advancing food security and sovereignty in Zimbabwe. Yolanda Moyo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, in a related development, the government has clarified the new land tenure title deeds program, saying it is in line with the country's constitution. Our reporter Tendai Mnengwa spoke to the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi, on the legality of the new land tenure title deeds.
Honorable Minister Ziyambi, the President recently launched the title deeds, whereby farmers are now entitled to receive those and go to the land and own the land. Some people out there are saying this is not in tandem with the laws of the country.
What the President did was to give effect to Section 289, 290, 291, 292, and 294. And how is the President doing that? The Constitution, which was voted for by the majority of people, which is an act of parliament. There is no need for going to the people, because the people spoke through this constitution, allows the President to hypothecate for value the land that those occupiers have. And this is the process that the President is saying, to say that we had these farms occupied by A2 farmers, approximately 23,000 A2 farmers who are occupying land. Let's give them security of tenure, pay the constitution to ensure that they can now access financing. How do we do it? The other route that is allowed by the constitution, which gives real rights, is to ensure that we give them title deeds.
Can we say that this is above board, and about 390,000 beneficiaries of the land reform can take up these title deeds?
What government is doing is legal, is to give effect to the provisions of the constitution to ensure that our people can sleep soundly without a fear of anyone coming and saying, I have revoked your offer letter. And without the fear of banks, our banks were afraid that if they had to give you a loan, there's no security that tomorrow you will still have that particular piece of land. And over and above that, the government through fiscus was funding agriculture because nobody was prepared to fund agriculture. You recall in 2015 or 16, we had to pass a debt assumption bill to take over some of the debts that were that were there because government had to take over the debts from farmers. So this is very legal and above board, and we believe that it will ensure that we unlock value in our agricultural land.
How is it going to benefit the nation at large?
The president is saying, let's unlock value in our agricultural land. And this satisfies what Section 289 is saying. We must have policies that enhance productivity on our land. And by ensuring that you get title, you will now be able to use that property to access financing to do agriculture. And that is very critical in ensuring that we realize our goal of increased productivity in agriculture.
A government will aggressively pursue an economic diplomacy policy that is progressive, peaceful, and encourages the prosperity of the country, which is targeting to be an upper middle income society by 2030.
Zimbabwe has registered milestones on the diplomatic front in 2024, and government seeks to consolidate these gains through pursuing policies that are peaceful, progressive, and encourage prosperity in the coming year. Nyika inowakwa nevene vayo ilizwe lakiwa lavanikazi valo. Zimbabwe is open for business, and Zimbabwe is friend to all and enemy to none are some of the doctrines outlined by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Professor Amon Murwira.
We have been pursuing the engagement and re-engagement agenda using these doctrines. So Zimbabwe started to pursue this economic diplomacy, talking to the outer world and making sure that we use this as currency to pursue our ultimate goal of our national interest, which is a sovereign, independent, just, and free society with people that are prosperous, happy, and have fulfilling lives. So this sets the stage and the constitutional dictates that His Excellency the President has been pursuing to pursue a foreign policy that is progressive, that is peaceful, and encourages prosperity and stability of this nation and the world.
Domestic and foreign policies have remained stable, which contributes positively to the aspirations of the country.
We will be having the Nordic Africa Foreign Ministers Summit, or is it Foreign Minister meeting in Zimbabwe and Victoria Falls, which is very important. You will see that we are also joining Osaka anyway, Expo, in pursuit of our objectives. What His Excellency, if you look at His Excellency's policy, which is also a reflection of his domestic policy, is to pursue a very stable foreign policy, a very stable domestic policy, which you can follow in a very easy and straightforward way of consistency.
Zimbabwe aggressively implemented the engagement and re-engagement policy, hence scoring big on its diplomacy on the international stage. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
Elsewhere, national blood stocks have improved, with 5,000 blood units having been collected out of a shortfall of more than 7,000 needed for the festive period.
We have actually collected about 70% of that, which is actually 5,200 units thereabouts, and about 3,100 of those came from the Pledge 25 Club, which is quite commendable, meaning that each time we went out for our Pledge 25 galas, we're getting at least 75 units per blood drive, and that is quite commendable. But big shout out to Zetarapi Mkushi, where we got 242 units in one collection, making up this big number. So I would like to actually say that by the 27th of December, we had achieved 70% of that target, and we did not have any challenges in supplying blood throughout the Christmas holiday. No hospital went away empty-handed. We had enough supplies, except just maybe the blood group O, which was a bit of a short supply in Gweru, but we managed to move it from Harare, and we managed to actually supply to that patient. So we really had a good festive season.
You mentioned that blood group O was a bit of a challenge. Where are we sitting now going into the new year?
Blood group O is a 3 days supply, which is a big improvement from the 1.5 blood days that we had previously. So we are on 3 days, which is an average, but would like to push it up to 5 days. So we are calling on all blood group donors to come through and donate. Blood group A, we have about 5 days or more. Blood group B, over 8 days supply. So we actually have adequate stocks of the other blood groups. But if you are blood group O, I'm still calling on every blood donor, please come through and donate.
I'm looking at the continuation of the campaign. Obviously, this is a driver that you are continuing. Where are we headed next?
We still have quite a number of blood drives that are outstanding. Out of the 85 blood drives from the P25 that we lined up, there are still 10 that are outstanding countrywide. One is actually ongoing in Vimbai, Bunoton today. We have Ruwa, CJ Ho, Gweru, Mutare, and so forth that are still lined up to the end of December. We also have the much loved breed and blood drives coming up on the 3rd of January countrywide at the usual spots countrywide. Then, of course, the 18th of January, there will be the read and blood drive as well in Chitungwiza at C Junction to boost our blood banks as the first term rolls into life. It is a slow time for us as far as the school term is concerned, so the blood drives still continue.
Well, that's the National Blood Service Zimbabwe Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Lucy Marowa, talking to our investigative editor, Theophilus Chuma. In our next report, transport operators have been urged to desist from setting unreasonable targets which are exerting unnecessary pressure on drivers, leading to an increase in road traffic accidents. The details from Festus Mkungurute.
With statistics indicating that 94% of road accidents are due to human error, the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe has implored transport operators to shun unreasonable daily targets for drivers as they end up defying road rules and regulations.
The operators, we continue to appeal to them to avoid giving hard targets to the drivers, because we understand that when you look and when you have an analysis of the accidents we have had, particularly over this festive season, they have largely been due to overtaking errors or speeding. And we believe that the speeding may be due to targets being given to the drivers. Now, that forces the driver to go beyond their limits. And our appeal to the operators is to avoid giving such targets. They are not helpful, they endanger passengers, and we believe at the end of the day, it is not in the interest of road safety.
Acknowledging the risk associated with high daily targets, local transport operators highlighted measures put in place to curb road carnage during the crossover into the new year.
Isusu madrivers edu, we don't have more time now. But passenger kubva ku Harare kuenda ku Bulawayo ane mukana wakakurisana driver yeye. Passenger ndo inoziva driver wedu, madriver anoita more than isusu operators. So taisa vanhu vanofamba vachiudza mapassengers kuti amusi masaga, mukaona makufone makubatwa makudrivwa zvisirizvo, this is our numbers, call us.
Madrivers dzimwe dzenguva chiro even vasiri vemabhazi kana vemakombi vemaprivate vacho unotoona kuti vanhu vari kutofamba vachidhakwa, saka tinototi dai zvaibvira mabreathalyzers awanike futi pamugwagwa ipapo nokuti vamwe vanenge vakadhakwa, saka dzimwe dzenguva akadhakwa neasina vakanosangana inozoita head-on collision.
Unregistered vehicles vanongofamba akabva muno maana anomonita but chaanenge achida ipapo chete kungobata target yaanenge anza abata. Isu we don't set target as ma associations, we don't set target. Tinoshanda nemitemo ye-Ministry of Transport nemitemo yeZimbabwe ndio inotigaida.
At least 77 people died while 401 were injured in road traffic accidents between the 15th and 26th of this month. Festus Mkunguru says ABC News, Harare.
or just in case you might have missed something on this bulletin or something that you might have missed even from yesterday's bulletin, you can always go on to our social media handles. You can find us ZBC News Online. Start off, of course, our website being www.zbcnewsonline.co.zw. We are also there on Facebook, ZBC News Online, and on X, formerly Twitter, ZBC News Online.
Yes, and here are some of the stories to expect ahead in the bulletin. In business, Zimbabwe's manufacturing sector targets more investments in machinery. And in sport, Twine Piri pledges to focus on junior development. We'll be back with these and more stories in detail after this break.
People from Kenya, and we came to see the Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. So beautiful and magical. I can't even believe it. It's my first time to Zimbabwe. I came to the falls. It is beautiful, stunning, amazing. I honestly don't even need a car. I just need to stand under the falls. It's amazing, it's beautiful, and yeah, I'm having a great time. Anyway, that iri for my falls as the kitchen is there, 100%. Don't be fooled in one while kutaura muwhatsapp kuti Victoria Falls haina mvura. Guys, Victoria Falls is a natural thing. Hakuna anoimisira pasi kana dai mukataura zviri negative. Victoria Falls is forever. We're here at the big falls on the Zimbabwean side, and we're at this cafe called the Lookout, and guys, we just see it for yourself. It's amazing. Well, so in the view. The camera doesn't do this place justice, so I urge you guys to come here and see for yourself. The views are amazing, the food is good, the drinks are refreshing, so yeah, we should definitely do it.
And experience Zimbabwe this festive season. Responsible.
Everybody needs a little time away. I heard her say from each other. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you.
Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation is seeking a commercially astute and visionary chief executive officer with the highest level of integrity to lead the organization into the next phase of transformation. The ideal candidate should have a proven track record of business transformation, high business acumen, a strong digital aptitude, and the ability to identify and mitigate risks.
Success in this role hinges on a strong foundation in effective corporate governance, a deep understanding of business strategy, innovation, digital transformation, and customer centricity.
Closing date for applications is 3 January 2025. For more details, visit our website www.zbc.co.zw.
think, Tanzo. Welcome back. You are still watching the main news. Despite the influx of artificial hair on the market, some Zimbabwean women have refused to be swayed by peer pressure as they take pride in their natural beauty. Let's get more from the following report.
While beauty standards have generally been set to conform to Western norms, there is an African woman who has refused to be influenced by the so-called modernity. It is a unique group of African women who take pride in their natural beauty. A SNAP survey conducted by this news crew in Harare revealed a growing trend of women opting for the natural look, challenging the narrative that kinky hair is less attractive.
Just having my hair, looking in the mirror, I just feel like more myself. When I had the relaxed styles, when I had the box braids, I even tried a wig once, wasn't for me. It didn't feel like it was my own. I felt itchy in my own skin. So
maintaining your natural texture and beauty is just a self-acceptance, self-love. I'm just true to myself, I'm authentic, and also it brings self-confidence within you. And also I just believe in myself that I have that cultural pride within me.
Mawivi kuti ndi maise msoro kana zvijaira ndakangokujaira ngokama vhudzi rangu natural hair. Inini it's because zvekutorukwa izvo handitogona zogara pasi nchibatwa musoro wangu. It's either short hair or not last.
There are, however, exceptions, as some women feel natural hair is inferior.
I think kuti kugara ndakarukwa kazvinototi unoonekera. Haikonoti une musoro. Sometimes unenge une mabands with natural hair and I don't think kuti zvinobuda.
Having to brush your hair every single morning is just not practical, at least for my lifestyle. So at least if I get my hair done in braids, I just get up and leave and it's just easier.
Natural hair, you need to keep it stretched out as often as you can so that it doesn't tangle up and it's more prone to breaking.
And having to worry about brushing my hair, washing my hair, doing all of that, yeah, it's easier.
An advocate for African beauty, Dr. Solomon Guramatunu, is for the idea of a mindset shift towards embracing one's natural identity.
What you need is to enlighten each other, to restore self-worthiness, self-confidence, self-respect, self-love, especially among our children. I hope the ladies understand what I'm saying. It's not about hair, it's not about skin, it's deeper than hair, deeper than skin, the mindset.
With black beauty now being acknowledged on the international stage, it remains to be seen if all women of African origin will take pride in their natural beauty. Festus Mkunguru says ZBC News, Harare.
Or clearly something that myself and Arthur Evans will take time to understand. He's on the other side to bring us the news from our Montreux studios. Arthur, great to see you.
Thank you so much, Butler. Interesting story that you're giving us there. And I must say that I think natural hair is definitely the way to go. But look, nothing against any woman that wants to express their beauty in their own way. Now, speaking of expression, let's talk about expressing ourselves in ICT as a nation. The government is developing a comprehensive child online safety policy expected to be finalized in the first quarter of 2025.
The policy is meant to create a safe online environment for children and adolescents, addressing concerns around cyberbullying, online grooming, exposure to harmful content, and data privacy violations. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Biula Chirumi, indicated that a public consultation process has since been instituted to gather information from various stakeholders on the proposed policy.
My own minister is very young, driving the entire ICT transformation process. And we think that we want to take on board young people who have very sharp minds, because they are the ones who have sharp minds, who can actually develop applications for us, innovate, to come up with new and better ways of doing things using ICTs.
Zimbabwe has made significant progress on child protection issues, including the recent adoption of the legislation criminalizing child sexual exploitation, facilitating birth registration, and the rollout of a child-friendly justice system. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Government is engaging community leaders to ensure the smooth implementation of developmental programs that will transform the lives of Zimbabweans.
Despite being in a dry region, Chivi Central has benefited from the Second Republic's empowerment programs, which include improved access to water for domestic and agriculture purposes. This came out at a meeting attended by government workers, members of the community and area legislator, Honorable Xavier Maoneke.
takakwanisa kuita 190 boreholes ndodzo takakwanisa kunge tichipeya vanhu vachimwa mvura.
Vari kuunza manyaya yemagadheni ari kuuya navo vari kubva nezvinhu kuhurumende, saka tinofanira kuti Ministry Agriculture ikapindira ipapo zvizovamba zvakanaka.
Collaboration in the implementation of development programs took center stage.
Vari kukurudzira nyaya yekucreata harmony pakati pehurumende neparty leadership, because zviviri izvi ropa nemunhu kana kuti bhandi rebhuruku hazvigoni kushanda chimwe chisipo. Tine misangano yakawanda iri kuizvinira navachadzamiri atiri kusungana kumasvingo party negovernment inobetsera kuvaka ukama, inobetsera kuinedza confidence in both groups.
Honorable Maoneke took the opportunity to encourage government workers and the community to take advantage of developmental programs implemented by government to improve lives.
Number one is collaboration. We need to work together to develop people yedu. Atitakuti epuwa kubva kuita zvavanoda ministry yacho isina kumbozindwa echike.
The event was an opportunity for community leaders to reflect on major developments in the area in 2024, among them the establishment of village business units. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Chivi.
In Bulawayo this Monday for war veteran Comrade Seven Dube, who is well known as the Zebra Carder featured on the iconic PF Sapu.
Comrade Dube, after a long battle with spinal injuries, having played an instrumental role in the liberation struggle, Comrade Dube's contribution was also symbolically captured through the iconic PF Sapo symbol, where he picked up a baby in the battlefield. Paying tribute to the late liberation war hero, Zimbabwe National War Veterans Association chairperson Comrade Sifas Ncube described Comrade Dube as a dedicated and selfless cadre who played an instrumental role in the liberation of the country.
Izolo umuntu emnyama ubungathenga imoto kuthole ecala. Izolo ubungaba ngumuntu emnyama uhambe esupermarket kuthole ecala. Kodwa kule ndawo elaliziphiwa kuthiwa hamba nini kizo. Zaziyize lezi until Comrade Seven Dube bakhulula ilizwe leli.
His family extended appreciation to the government for recognizing the critical role played by Comrade Dube during the liberation struggle, while also describing him as a unifier in the family.
Silahleke njengomuntu ubaba ngobe sesimthembile ubaba omncane ngobe sincedisa kuzo zonke izinto empilweni nxa silohlupho ekhaya ngobe buya azosiduduza. So kwamanje sesilahleke lakho lapho sesikhangele khona ngobe simthembile bengumuntu obelothando kakhulu kithi efamilini.
Comrade Dube will be laid to rest at his rural home in Blunt this Tuesday. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
On that sad note, we've come to the end of our Montrose crossover, but the main news continues from our Pocket Hill news desk. My name is Arthur Evans, and I will definitely see you in 2025.
Thanks a lot, Arthur Evans there and the entire crew at our Montrose studios. Let's take a look at what is taking place across the world now in our regional and international news. And election results after Sunday's polls in Chad are expected at the end of January.
Vote counting is currently underway after the people of Chad went to the polls to elect members of parliament, provincial and local representatives. The National Agency for Management of Elections has reported a low voter turnout of just over 36% in a country which has around 8 million registered voters. Reports say over 10 opposition parties, including the main opposition Transformers Party, boycotted the elections. The preliminary results are expected by the 15th of January and the actual results on the 31st of January 2025. Russia says it is open to negotiations for resolving the crisis with Ukraine. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, however, says the talks must address the root causes and reflect realities on the ground. Lavrov also stressed the need to ensure that Ukraine's non-aligned, neutral and non-nuclear status to eliminate the long-term threats to Russia's security posed by the West, including NATO expansion, must be addressed. He added that Ukraine should take on specific obligations to ensure the rights, freedoms and interests of Russian-speaking citizens are upheld. The Russian-Ukraine conflict has been going on for almost 3 years.
The main news will now take a break. We'll be back shortly with business news. Stay with us.
Nyika inokoshwa imfanini papanoswa uyautuonere kugari pakuleki tinenge tichitapfunawo vedzinesteki tisinekanama chinhu ikune
This festive season we are going to Matopo. I want to have the full Matopo experience because most of the times, you know, people have this narrative, oh, I'm going to go outside of the country, but we have a lot of beautiful places out here.
We need to spend our festive season here in Bulawayo. It's always good to promote our domestic tourism. So we decided, since we're here based in Bulawayo, because of our meet and greet program, we decided to come here and spend the whole day drying and having fun, listening to music and enjoying all the activities here.
Some are from Harare, some are from Kwekwe. We've gathered here in Bulawayo to celebrate our Christmas here inside them.
Travel and experience Zimbabwe this festive season. Zimbo. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to warn all motorists and passengers against overloading, as this can lead to loss of life and premature death. Overloading can cause instability to the vehicle, thereby making it harder to steer, whether on straight roads, bends, or when it hits a pothole. Say no to overloading. You never know, the life you save might be your own. This message was brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. TSCZ, keeping Zimbabwe's roads safe.
The Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation is seeking a commercially astute and results-oriented commercial services director to lead the commercial operations of the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, ZBC. The ideal candidate should have strong financial acumen, proven experience in driving revenue growth, and a deep understanding of the broadcasting industry's commercial landscape. Closing date for applications is 3 January 2025. For more details, visit our website www.zbc.co.zw.
To our cherished viewers, this is an official invitation to the biggest festive celebration. Let's go! From the 13th of December to the 6th of January. It's astonishing! Accept the invitation when you press play on endless entertainment at home or wherever you are. Oh, snap! With DSTV Stream at no extra cost. T's and C's apply. Because this festive, everyone's invited. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at business news. Zimbabwe's manufacturing sector is targeting more investments in machinery to continue boosting industrial productivity.
Zimbabwe's manufacturing sector was this year not spared from the effects of the El Nino-induced drought and production challenges. Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries Microeconomics Committee Chairperson Mr. Jimmy Silos says the challenges faced by the industry this year have, however, presented opportunities for growth in 2025.
I'm quite optimistic about 2025. Firstly, we are looking at a good rainy season. And as you know, the agricultural sector has a big impact on the overall economy. So we're looking forward to a good rainy season, a good harvest, which will set the stage for a much stronger performance from manufacturing in 2025. So what else do we need to do to achieve that? I think key is to maintain the availability of foreign exchange in the official system.
Employers Confederation of Zimbabwe President Mr. Demos Mbauya says the country's manufacturing sector also defied market expectations by maintaining production levels as the availability of locally produced goods improved.
As you are aware, in 2024 we faced significant hurdles in respect of the sugar tax. And in the 2025 budget that was announced by the Minister of Finance, the Minister reduced the sugar tax by 50%. The effect of that is that it's going to take us from where capacity utilization has significantly gone down in 2024 to increase capacity utilization.
The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, commended industrial resilience in 2024 and outlined the 2025 industrialization agenda.
We are mirroring the process of developing NTS2. We will be developing our industrial development policy successor, which is National Industrial Development Policy 2, which will then take us from 2026 to 2030. And we have our roadmap already, and we hope to be able to launch the policy around November 2025.
In its 2024 manufacturing sector survey, the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce projected increased production next year. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
That report there from Stanley James. Our look at your business news. Let's take a look now at what is taking place in the arts and some entertainment. Well, as we count down to the year 2025, 2024 has left another mark, this time in terms of high-end music videos that captured the attention of fans. The young generation has been taking over. Holy Tense videos have attracted the most views on YouTube.
Holy 10 once again proved that he is a force to reckon with after coming up with more than 4 songs that surpassed the 2 million views on YouTube. His collaborative efforts, Banga and Doto Kuda, featuring his wife Kimberly, have more than 5 million views each, while Matafena, which was released 7 months ago, also exceeded 4 million views. The video is the collaborative effort by DJ Ngwazi, Dr. Tawanda and Nelsie B, Fake Love, which has attracted close to 7 million views in the past 6 months. K-Chaps also released the banger Madiro, which has more than 5 million views over the past 11 months. Nisha T.S. is among the women who dominated the music scene this year, with her song Kutsamwa Kune Labor, released 9 months ago, gaining over 4 million views. Zing Dance Chanta, Master H, Nawana Dem, with over 3 million views in 11 months, is also among the most loved productions that trended Master, who churned out various hits, including the 4-month-old hit Makanaka, which is close to 3 million views. On the gospel front, the unveiled gospel outfit was among the top groups, with its song Moya Mucheni being among the most viewed videos of the year with over 2 million views. Many other artists created videos that were well received, and these include Saint Flo's Bipolar, Nemoyo by Shashu, and Fauna by Deoro Shewe. A few other entries were released late this year, including Freeman's Muchanin's Wao and Chawiriri, Mambo Dutere's Sunugura Nizozo, and a collaborative effort by Mededido and Enzo titled Attack My Japanese. Patience Nyagata, ABC News, Harare.
Nunge confused kumurango mafankas yo barware ninge mori but please anshore easy ndichikira zangu pore koninda kakia saka mundi.
Meanwhile, one of the pioneers of Zimbabwean hip-hop music, Herbert Schwanborn, popularly known in the music circles as Metaphysics, has been impressed by the growth of the genre in Zimbabwe. Our news crew caught up with the former Piece of Ebony band member.
Water, but we don't gang bang out here in the motherland. It's peace and love, something you should understand.
The German-based hip-hop musician, who is a founding member of the iconic Piece of Ebony, alongside the late Chiwoniso Maraire, is delighted at how things have shaped up with the genre. Theirs was a date with destiny, and just as they were convinced back in the 1990s, hip-hop is huge in Zimbabwe.
In the early 90s, we were part of a generation of young artists who were discovering new sounds. I mean, seeing as Zimbabwe was going through the changes it was coming out of independence, people were beginning to explore and try different genres of music. We grew up in a melting pot of different sounds, and hip-hop was one of those sounds that we were discovering. As we go into 2025, hip-hop is alive and strong in Zimbabwe.
The veteran hip-hop artist expressed gratitude to local artists who were now incorporating indigenous languages in the music genre and taking it to new heights.
I have always loved Shona, for example, or Ndebele in hip-hop. My favorite artists are like Awa Kiwe. She's an amazing Zim artist from Bulawayo. There's an artist called Godombori, who was one of the first vernacular artists to really spit and rap in Shona. And even in the early days, in the early 90s, we had radio shows on ZBC with Caleb Tondelani, who was exposing a rich culture of Shona lyrics in hip-hop. Just recently was the Zim Hip Hop Awards, and it's locally organized. It's the youth coming together, organizing their own events, their own concerts. And I think this is what we need in Zimbabwe.
3 decades later, Zim hip-hop through the likes of Holy 10, Saint Flo, Volt JT, Awakiwe, Blink 4, Young Gemini, and many others, continues to make waves and is becoming a key voice of urban youth culture in the country. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
And we're in for an exciting 2025. Well, that is our look at the arts. When we come back, we'll look at sport.
Guys, make sure you want to hear the welcome that I'm receiving. No time to say gaming. Alright. What's a winner? A winner. Zataunganira muti ndichokura ndiri kutasa mudenga so ndaonei membo iri ndinokuzenga iri membo yemuti amona nyama yemuti. Yes guys, tashika kumusha nhuku yanda bata nasi guys
yapikwa. Hi
everybody, ndifana namzukuru wangu abata huku.
Guys, look at
tat mzukuru. Kuna zvemadelivery what ifood for work mzukuru wangu bata muriwo bandika.
Guys, who can yali things are busy my way.
Nagona.
Damlapyo eta na tete wangu ndipate wanu wangu wetu Australia. Joy after joy. Joy after joy. Joy after joy.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at a discount. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will display the discount you qualify for. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies you won't find anywhere else. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
I'm Justin Matlatla. I'm the executive producer of the online news desk. I'm also your anchor for the ZBC News and Current Affairs programs that touch on different subjects, be it social issues, be it sport, be it business, be it economics. I believe it's important that people pay license fees for ZBC because that way the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation is able to fund the news gathering processes so that across the country, whatever is happening, the developments that are taking place can be shared with the generality of the people through ZBC. So I encourage Zimbabweans to continue paying their TV and radio licenses in order to support the national broadcaster and to make sure that it continues to produce the programs that you love to watch.
Stay informed and entertained. Pay your ZBC radio and TV license today.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719-594-426 or Martha on 0719-593-532 or Precious on 0719-593-510 or email tandeka.movie@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, let's take a look now at sport. The Zimbabwe Football Association presidential candidate Twine Piri has promised to transform Zimbabwean football if elected to the top post next month.
Twine Piri is not a new name to Zimbabwean football, having been the first individual to own Caps United after the club was winged over by Caps Holdings, having led Caps United in a dominant era in which they won back-to-back league titles in 2004 and 2005. Piri cemented his reputation as a shrewd and visionary leader. He was also the chairperson of the Premier Soccer League, where he played a pivotal role in securing sponsorship deals that propelled the top flight to new heights. Piri's greatest achievements was bringing Kasolaga to the fold in 2011, a move that injected the much-needed sponsorship into the domestic league. His manifesto makes a strong case for him to be the next ZIFA president, with his vision built on two pillars: junior development and football infrastructure refurbishment.
I'm coming in to clean the game. When I mean cleaning, I'm talking in terms of governance, ethics, ethical issues, integrity. then the core business is to see the young boy or the young girl playing the game. Where I would want to take them is, I want to take them to the highest level. Yes, I would want to come up with structures like regional school of excellency for ZIFA. That's what I intend to do.
Piri, however, faced stiff competition from 5 other candidates, namely United Kingdom-based football administrator Marshall Gore, former ZIFA board member Philemon Machana, Northern Region Division 1 chairperson Martin Kweza, former Dynamo striker Makwinji Somapiri, and businessman Mobile Magwizi. Anna Shamurambedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Sponsors have promised to elevate women's football in Matabeleland South Province. Let's get more details from Providence Maranelli.
It was a weekend to remember for the Japeta community in rural Beitbridge as football fans thronged the Makapata grounds for a women's football tournament. It was also the perfect platform for newly promoted Women's Super League outfit Kwekwe United to make a statement of intent, while Blawayo-based New Orleans found the going tougher after being knocked out.
It's rare to find a tournament which is good for the girls, and so we're literally happy that we get time to mingle and mix.
Just because abantu babesithi babafana babakwanisa, but
There is conviction among football coaches that women's football is poised for greater heights because of the abundance of talent at rural schools.
Now that Cecilio Mama, we have women ladies teams that are coming up. This is going to be positive. It's a positive step towards sponsorship. Like now we have a sponsor that is running these games, which is it's a very positive thing.
If it was me, I would come, especially for the selection. Maybe we invite, when we have tournaments, big tournaments like this in the rural areas, we invite the national coaches, maybe the under-17 coaches, the under-20 coaches on the ladies' side, or the senior national coach, because there's a big talent.
But tournament bazafaka pressure lapha bakhona babekwazi ukuthi bahlala be ready for play.
The tournament is also part of efforts to curb teenage pregnancies in the rural areas.
Chiti chinoko shota kabathu banji ndi ndaba ya urone abapi manda auna empowerment nekuitarea so sa company irewone pano mahayani robona zvibuthogwa urone rikone upa bathu vafumakadzi chifhinga cha uri vone vakone udhitela zvinhu zvavo vone vakone upiwa manda.
Besides Kwekwe United, New Orleans, Colin Bond, Gwanda Pirates and City Queens, Sioka, Malakua and Kwalu secondary schools were also part of the tournament. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
The just ended Johannes Ngozo football tournament held in Blayo has been hailed for giving young football enthusiasts an opportunity to showcase their talent.
Annual Johannes Ngozo football tournament was dominated by Mzilikazi with right back Blessed Mapepa, one of the stars of the contest.
I see for my chance like so anytime umuntu engaphonga ukuthi mina ngiyobukela abafana egazi la futhi abanye lapha kithi abadlali ibhola emateam so babethola ithuba ukudlala emakazini kwala.
Mzilikazi head coach Ngeta Manjengo also showered praise on former Warriors midfielder Johannes Ngozo for organizing the tournament.
I think for us as Mzilikazi it's a big boost, especially for these youngsters looking at what's happening currently in terms of drug abuse and substance abuse that's happening. It's helping them in terms of not being affected by such things.
Ngozo is clear on the ultimate objective with focus on unearthing football gems.
I think that's why since under 15 and under 17 I think ibhola lakho liqalisela khona apha. I think namhla today ngama under 17 I think sifuna ukubona italent lakho ihamba njani, but I think ibhola lakho from under nxa the 17 years vele fanele ube prepared maybe ukudlala first team any country.
The annual football tournament is earmarked to be a vehicle for development and talent identification. Mthokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that report there, our look at your sport. The expected weather conditions coming courtesy of the Met Department next.
Hello, good evening Zimbabwe. My name is Idaisha Mdondo and this is the weather report and forecast.
Over the past 24 hours, we had wet conditions across the country with significant falls recorded in Maronjera Railways, measuring 130 millimeters, Gokwe 124, Kadoma 100, and Shegutu Railway 65 millimeters. We have a thick cloud band on our satellite image, which is covering greater parts of the country, and we're expecting partly cloudy and warm conditions with heavy falls expected as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, which will be recorded in the Eastern Highlands, Masvingo, Matabele North and South regions. And for our minimum temperatures tonight, we're expecting Kariba to have a low of 23, Harare 17, Mutare 18, Gwanda 20 and Victoria Falls 20. For our maximum temperatures tomorrow, we're expecting Kariba to have a high of 33, Victoria Falls 31, Lupani 28, Gwanda 30 and Chirezi 36. And for Bulawayo tomorrow, we're expecting a high of 28 and a minimum of 19. Chinoi, a wet crossover into the new year with a high of 29 and a low of 18. Gwanda, cloudy conditions are expected with a high of 30 degrees Celsius. In Gweru, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions with a high of 26 and a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius. In Harare, we're expecting wet conditions as we get into the new year with a high of 26 and a low of 17. Kariba, cloudy conditions are expected and a low of 19 degrees Celsius. Kariba, a wet crossover into the new year. In Lupani, we're expecting wet conditions with a low of 20 and a high of 28 degrees Celsius. In Kwekwe, we're expecting 27 degrees Celsius as a high and 18 degrees Celsius for the minimum temperatures. In Masvingo, City of Ruins, a high of 30 and a minimum of 20. In Matoposi, cloudy conditions are expected. In Nyanga, a wet crossover into the new year with a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a high of 23. Victoria Falls, our resort town, a high of 31 and a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius. That is all from the weather desk today. Please do check out our social media handles. Thank you. Good evening.
The Meteorological Services Department there with the evening weather report and forecast. And that does it from us, the main news tonight.
Indeed. And it's time to go home, Butler. Well, make sure you take it easy on the roads. And the same goes to everybody out there. From all of us here, it's good night.